Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and this is Campfires and Kayaks, a papercraft YouTubers hop where we monthly have a different theme, and so this month we are doing the great outdoors, and I actually have a picture of a campfire. So I also have these awesome Dotty About Flare and some assemblage required combo set, and this is the outdoors and I'm super excited. And then I'm using the Summer Road Trip paper pad by Recollections. And I actually have a sticker set that is by Recollections that is pretty much the same kinds of things. So I'm going to pull those out as well. And I have a large stash of camping, and this isn't all of it. This is just the stuff that I felt like I might be able to pull things from. So I want to try and use up quite a few of these embellishments, and will continue to do some sticker sneezing or something along those lines in the future. Not on this layout, but in the future I'm going to be doing some kind of camping, hiking layouts that have lots of these things. So I've got my papers. I have a few embellishments and stickers. I have this awesome Dotty About Flare and some assemblage required, some pictures, and some thoughts on how I want to do this. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing I did was go through all the stickers and embellishments and see what I might want to use, and then set aside some things that I know I wouldn't. So I have some things in here that are just hike related, and some things that are like one of them was fishing or something. I don't know how that got in there. But I put some things aside, and then I have some duplicates, like that little sleeping bag right there. I have another one of those. And then the colors on some of these things didn't work, so I set those aside because I'm going with the outdoorsy browns and oranges and greens and things of that nature. And then, of course, the white that I'm bringing in. So then I go through the paper pad, and I was hoping I could find a cut apart that would work. And I guess I could have used like a journaling space, but that just wasn't what I was looking for. So I do love this paper. It's got the brown background and then the little campsite at the bottom with a campfire and those cute little trees and a tent. So I thought that that would be the most fitting because this probably looks similar to the little setup that my daughter and my husband had at the time. So I know there are no cacti in this. However, I'm really only using this mostly for the color. And you cannot barely tell once I'm done that that is cactus. But I have that orange. So what I'm going to do, since I don't have a whole lot of need for... Sorry, that's my dog. Cactus paper, I decided that I would cut one long strip and cut it in, I'm going to cut my campfire. I'm trying to think of the words. I'm going to cut that picture down a smidge. Obviously, you can see I've already done that. And I mat that on the orange, and then I mat it on, I flip that orange paper over, and it's white on the back, and so I have a white background in the back. And then the other picture of my daughter's feet, which is her artistic picture of her feet. And then in the background, you can see a blurred out image, which is her dad picking up sticks and getting the campfire started. So that was the morning after they had been camping and everything. So I matted that on white and then on the orange. So I really would love to use this entire collection of the outdoors by Some Assemblage Required, which is the wood veneer, and Dotty About Flare, which is obviously the flare. But I felt like the mountain range didn't really fit what I was doing because they're, I mean, they may be in the mountains, but you can't really tell that. And I know that I'll have other pictures in the future of other times when we've gone hiking and have pictures of like the skyline and the mountains or the hills and stuff like that. So I also felt like all three flare was too much because it's so stark white and there's not a lot of white other than that background paper. So I decided just to use the map and the campfire. And so, and then the arrows. And I will save the mountain scene as well as the mountain scene flare for later. Excuse me. So I pull this piece of scrap paper out of my scrap stash, and this is part of I think it's a Paper Studio paper pad for camping as well. And I just had that in my little envelope full of camping stuff. And so I just put that down. It's about 1.5 inches deep. And it's just going to kind of give me a resting place. And I'm not using that at the bottom of where my pictures are going, but it's just something to kind of break up all that dark brown in the background. Excuse me. So I'm pulling everything off of the sticker sheets that I am interested in using. I love the sleeping bag because that's what she's like sitting in on top of her sleeping bag in her little tent. And of course, that's a canoe, but that's as close to a kayak as I have. So there's where I'm going. Plus, it goes with that collection, so the color's going to match, and I thought that would be good. So they did not go canoeing or kayaking or any of that. They just went hiking, camping, and everything. So, but I thought I'd go ahead and add that, and I kept the oar because it kind of goes with it. Obviously, can't go very far without it. And then I pull these little circles off of this sticker sheet because I wanted to have a little bit of something to add some little pops of color here and there. Not color, but something to break up that brown as well. And I went from having these pictures down at the bottom to moving them up because I felt like I was leaving this massive expanse of that dark brown at the top if I put that down at the bottom. So I decided I'd move it up some so that I could spread the pictures out a little bit more without covering up any of that that little picture at the bottom with the trees and the tent and everything. So I'm going to start by putting some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive on some assemblage required wood veneers. I love these arrows. They're so cool. I ordered a bunch of that kind of stuff from her. I love her stuff. Oh. And then I have that little campfire over there, and that came from a sticker set or an embellishment set. And I also have campfire stories up above the picture of the campfire. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put this sleeping bag. And this isn't exactly where I wanted it, but I didn't want to lay it sideways because I thought it would look silly. Because it's kind of coming down a little further than I would want. But overall, I like the way that it looks. And so I tucked those little circles all around, like I said, just to kind of break up some of that brown. But I didn't want it to be out of this cluster. Like I kept everything right in the same space. So there's not anything just kind of hanging out over to the side. It's all kind of connected. And I like that. I love having these big embellishment clusters, even if they include the picture. It seems to make me very happy because I've noticed that I do that a lot lately. And which is pretty impressive because normally I can't handle all that empty white space. So I got the sticker sheet, and like I said, this sticker sheet goes with this paper pad pretty much because that little tint that's in that picture is identical to the tint on this paper, and it's both by recollection, so I knew that it would go well together, and I wanted to use as much of that as I could but not overdo it or duplicate. Like, I don't need a bunch of campfires. There's the little one on the paper, there's the one on the flare, and then the 3D one that I've already got right there on the right side. So I didn't want to use another campfire. That seems silly. And it's not, there's a lot of those other ones didn't apply. Plus I didn't need the other tint. I've already got this one that I pull, and because I didn't want the exact same tint on here because I thought that might look kind of weird. So I went with that, and then I added these little tree just for a little extra because there's of course tons of trees there camping. So that is going to do it. I love the way this turned out. I love that I have some flair on here. I love the wood grain because, of course, camping totally goes with the wood grain. And so I hope that you all will go down below and follow along with all the other awesome people who are hopping with this Paper Crafters YouTube hop and see how everybody else takes this campfires and kayaks, because there is no telling what everybody is doing. They are very creative and can find ways to make these hops work for them and their pictures. I hope y'all have a great day. I hope you'll come back very soon, and happy scrapping.